Mic check. 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another accountability live stream. Happy Monday, March 2nd to everyone, or happy Sunday, March 1st to people out in the West. It's nice to have you all here today. So, new month, new you. What do your plans look like for the month of March when it comes to your fasting journey? What do your plans for March look like for your weight loss journey? For your journey overall in health and happiness? What does that look like? I know I'm coming off of a 5-day fast. If you've been following the last couple of days, I've been documenting what this 5-day fast looked like for me. I finished that yesterday, completed that 5-day fast at around 130 plus hours. I'm going to get into all of that in a little bit here. But after completing that fast and breaking on March 1st, it's back to normal. It's back to the grind. I'm not putting another 5-day fast under me right now. Will I perform a longer fast in the future? Most likely. Depends on how I control my calories for the month. But one of my goals for the month of March anyway is to have a prolonged fast. It doesn't mean 5 days, but to at least put something close to 3 days in there just once this month. If I have to push another long fast, I will. But we'll see what that looks like. That's all going to depend on the way I eat and the way I take care of myself this month. Now remember, this is an accountability live stream. This is an opportunity for you to share your accountability. If you see people in chat here on Facebook or YouTube, you will see people sharing all of that. They share their stories and what they're doing, and whether it's good or bad, you show up. You stay honest and accountable and transparent. I see people here on Instagram who are joined. Hi, everyone from Instagram. If you want to see what other chat looks like or a more lively chat, you can hop on over to YouTube and see that. But I appreciate people watching me on a different platform as well. So I have quite a bit to share. I think you all know how I felt over this 5-day fast. The 5-day fast that I completed from February 23rd all the way until March 1st. I don't want to say it was a walk in the park, but it was pretty easy for me. Even though I haven't done one in over 2 years, I've done 2-day fasts on average. Excuse me. I've done 2-day fasts on average without issue. I've done 3-day fasts sparingly without issue. I've done close to 4-day fasts, at the very beginning of my journey, on a rotating basis over and over, or on a rolling basis for nearly 5 months. So for me to push a 5-day fast, honestly, I thought I might have a more difficult time after not doing it for over 2 years, but honestly, it wasn't an issue for me. It was pretty straightforward. I was able to still perform and function like a normal human being. I was able to get my steps in, walk 12,000 steps, do the things that I needed to do. I'm in the middle of a move. And that's why for the last couple of days, you saw me in a different place. I was staying at an Airbnb while I was having things taken care of at my new unit. But there was no point during the 5-day fast where I felt like I couldn't function, that I couldn't do what I needed to do on a day-to-day basis. And if I did have issues, if I felt like something was off, if I could not perform my daily normal functions as a human being, then I would have broke my fast. And then I would have refed, hit my timer, and I would have gone again. It's as simple as that. And that's the power of accountability. That's the power of showing up and doing what you have to do. Before I continue on here and I talk about my goals for March, and I hope people in chat are sharing it as well, share your goals in March or for March. But before I continue, hi to Eric, to Select, peace to all, Judy, Mrs. Angeles, Ronnie, Gloria, Lynn, who else is in here? Andre, Cap Rising, nice to see you. Megan, nice to see you. Adiva, Bad Karma, Ophelia, Melly Mel, everyone's in here today. Spike, put on the tiara. The writers, hello, everyone. Everyone from Instagram right now. Hello, nice to see you. Appreciate you being here. So, with that being said, how many of you came along with me for this 5-day fast? And how was it for you? How many of you were able to complete it? And for those that didn't, I want you to remember, there's no shame, there's no guilt about it. This isn't a pissing match. This isn't about who can fast the longest. This is about doing the best that you can, hitting your timer and going again. That's the power of imperfect consistency. That's the power of knowing that no matter what happens, no matter how bad your eating gets, and we're going to talk about that too, because here's the thing. I performed this 5-day fast. I lost a good amount of weight, and that weight pushed itself right back up today when I stepped on the scale. Hi, Claude 20 Mile. Nice to see you on Instagram. I always give a little shout out on Instagram right now because it's new for me and I'm not used to seeing people on there. I want to spend a little time and talk about my 5-day fast. Like I said, I had no real issues. I didn't feel weak at any point. I didn't feel like I was going to just drop dead. And if you watched me on a daily basis, live stream or post a video, I'm sure you could watch that and be like, oh, Jerome's fine. I mean, it wasn't an issue for me. I was in the middle of a move. I had a lot of things going on. I was still getting my steps in. I was still able to work, post videos, take calls, do my marketing work for my other clients back in Chicago, and it was fine. There were out of all the side effects, the only side effects that I had is there were moments where I felt a little more tired. And that was like maybe on day 3. But on day 5, I didn't feel that at all. On day 4, that was probably when I had the most cravings, which was the only other side effect. And by cravings, it was just more like, oh, it would be nice to eat. I was walking around a food truck festival on day 4. I could smell food everywhere. And the only reason I was at that food truck festival is because there's literally here in Manila, shit is going on here all day, every day. People are selling food, eating food. There are festivals going on. There's just always something happening here, which is cool. But in a lot of ways, you can't escape that. So that's another. Sometimes people will ask me, Jerome, how are you able to do this when there's just good food everywhere or you smell? Listen, I also lived in Chicago and I literally lived in a very, very busy part of the city and there was food everywhere. That is just something that you're going to have to learn to get good at, is to know when you're eating and when you're not. And on days like that, I knew I wasn't eating. I knew I wasn't going to be having any food. But to get back to the 5-day fast, for me, I don't want to call it a walk in the park, but it honestly was not difficult. Do I want to keep doing 5-day fasts? Not really. It's not particularly fun in that way because eventually I do get bored and I do miss eating, but I had to do what I had to do. So now we're back in March. There's a reset on my reset, right? Because again, all of this is arbitrary, but there's a reset on my timer here. I am now resetting the bank, my calorie budget for March. I have an allotted amount of calories to eat for the month of March. And if I go over those calories, it's time to fast. It's as simple as that. And I will be doing that again for this month. I will be pushing probably a longer fast for March, somewhere in the middle. So if that's something that you all want to partake with me in, I'll let you know. But I'm still fasting regardless. I'm still going to be pushing at least a 36-hour fast. I mean, I'm currently working on a 36-hour fast right now. So if it's helpful for some of you to just know that I'm fasting, I'll let you know when I'm going to be fasting. So if you want to go along with me and follow my schedule, you can. That's perfectly fine. But let's go ahead and let's get into it. So today is March 2nd. Press the wrong button. Let me see if I can get the right button on. There we go. Hi, Margaret on Facebook. Is this a Margaret I remember? Maybe it is. If it is, hello, Margaret. It's been a minute. Today is Monday, March 2nd. For many of you, it might be Sunday, March 1st. But regardless, happy March to many of you out there. Today is day 848 of my journey. 848 days. That's 2 years plus. That's over 120 weeks on my journey. I have been doing this for a long time. Did I get to where I'm at today through perfection? Did I lose this weight and keep it off for over 2 years because I've been perfect with what I've been doing? No. This is a practice of being imperfect. This is a practice of imperfect consistency. This is a practice of, hey, a lot of good days fasting, and then some days not. A lot of good days eating well, and then a lot of good days not, or a lot of days not. But every single day I choose to show up. Every single day I choose to be here. That is the difference between me and you, is that I continue to choose to be here. I continue to put the work in. And I'm not saying that some of you aren't here and showing up, because I know that many of you are. I'm just saying, if you are somebody that has an issue keeping the weight off, if you are somebody that performs all or nothing type behavior, maybe it's time to practice imperfect consistency. This 5-day fast that I performed, it started on Monday, February 23rd at 10:14 p.m. after I finished my last bite, after I swallowed my last bite on my refeed. And then I ended that 5-day fast on Sunday. So if you think about it, that actually pushed through 6 days, right? 7 days, I guess. But obviously the time frames are different here. It ended up being a 131-hour and 37-minute fast. And I dropped 12.4 pounds from 153.2 to 140.8. Now, even though that shows a 12.5-pound drop, you know those numbers are exaggerated, because I put on a ton of weight before I started the 5-day fast, because I ate 5,900 calories. So don't think I dropped 12 pounds of fat, because I didn't. There's a good amount of weight there that was water. Did I lose excess fat? For sure. For being on a fast for that long, for having 0 calories for that long, absolutely. But these numbers that we play around with, these numbers are so arbitrary. And I'm going to get into that in a second here. Christy, hi, Christy on Instagram. Nice to see you. Christy says, you're amazing. You keep going 848 days since you came back and shared with all of us your imperfect consistency. Christy, I appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much. Thanks for stopping by on Instagram. It's nice to have you. Appreciate you being here. So here's the thing about this 5-day fast. And maybe what I'll do is I'll skip slides here so you can see what this looks like. Yesterday, I refed. And remember, I lost 12.4 whatever pounds, right? I lost 12.4 pounds after my 5-day fast. And just to give you an idea, I'm just skipping some slides here so you can see this. It might be small for people who are watching on Instagram, but my weight in March, I dropped from 153 down to 140.8. And then this morning when I stepped on the scale, I jumped back up to 150, right? That's a 9.2 pound gain. How many calories did I eat yesterday? I'm skipping through here just so you can see. I had a 5,900 calorie refeed, and that pushed my weight up to 9.2 pounds. I'm going to take a second here because I see this happen a lot. I will fit in the, I'm not sure what that is, C pants. Today's March 1st for you. I live in the Philippines. There are other parts in this big thing we call Earth where there are other time zones. I see this a lot because I want people to understand that people live in other parts of the world and it is different days elsewhere. So just FYI. These pants. Thank you. Yes, really. Spike with a $10 super chat. Spike, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate the support as always. Jerome, based on your stats, would you say 100 calories an hour is a realistic loss during a fast? So 90 hours is 9,000 calories. So about 2.5 to 3 pounds lost. Your thoughts? So I would have to do the math when it comes to this. For me, I think more about my TDEE, right? I think about every day I burn about 2,300 calories based on my TDEE. Now, off of my BMR, my metabolic rate, I don't know what that would be, 1,700, 1,800, I forget. But 100 calories an hour, is it realistic? I think I would have to take time and do the math and see. It's a good, because I'm trying to think. If my body burns around 1,800 calories a day, if I did absolutely nothing but just, right? It depends. Is it based off of my activity during the day as well? Because if it's just me laying in bed doing nothing, then it's going to be less than 100 calories an hour, right? But if it's based on the activity I perform during the day, then yeah, it's probably close to somewhere around there. And again, that's going to depend on somebody who's also let's say someone's 6'3" and they weigh 325 pounds. Obviously, they're going to be losing more because they're just bigger, right? And of course, as you continue to lose weight, that number will start pushing itself down less as well. Probably for a guy. For a female, it might be less. Obviously, depends on the size of the person. Absolutely. But that's a good round number to go off of as well. So it's a good way to look at that. Hopefully that's helpful. I don't know, maybe I'll take some time and look at that because I don't know what my BMR is offhand. I just know my TDEE is around 2,300. Yeah, 100 calories an hour average, low activity. That's probably about right. I agree. I think but there are people people's BMR is, with low activity. Again, it depends. I think for a guy, it's probably higher versus women, but that's a good way to look at it. Anyway, Spike, thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. As always, thank you for the continued support. I'm just checking back here on Instagram. El Sparco says, started my fast last night. My goal this month is a 6-day fast each week with 1 meal a week. The goal is until April 5. Good luck to you, El Sparco. My continued advice for anyone who pushes these fasts, you're talking about doing a rolling, what is that, 140, 144? If you're doing rolling 144s, keep me posted. But if it ends up not being rolling 144s and you do something less than that, continue to show up. Hit your timer, go again. Hit your timer, go again. That's the power of accountability. So keep me posted, El Sparko. I appreciate this, or I appreciate your accountability. Thanks for sharing with me. So let me get back into my stats here. So remember, I pushed up in weight. I pushed up about 9 pounds after my refeed yesterday, even though I lost 12 pounds. And so sometimes the assumption here is like, well, what's the point of the 5 day fast? The point is, those numbers are arbitrary. The point is that, yeah, I might have put up a lot of pounds on the scale, but it doesn't mean that I just all of a sudden gained all the fat back after performing a 5 day fast. You have to think about how our bodies are complex. Our bodies will hold on to water, will push out a lot of water. Also, during my 5 day fast, I wasn't taking creatine anymore. So I was probably losing water with glycogen. I was probably losing the fullness in my body in terms of my muscle or whatever, right? I'm not getting into the scientific part there because I don't have enough to really give you. Yasin says, looking to lose at least 10 kg by April 9th for a wedding. I get it. That's many of us. And here's the thing too. I know that when weddings come up, I know when big events come up, that's when many of us want to really push and they really want to do these big fasts. And this is why I like to tell people I've been doing this for 840, today's day, 848, 848 days. And so I like to tell people, think about where you'd be if you just practiced something for the last 120 weeks. If you had just stayed mindful and aware of what you're doing. But I get it, right? Sometimes we get in this place where life just, it passes us and then we're like, oh shit, it's time to drop weight. Let me do this extended fast. So, oh, this is someone different. That's El Sparko. But for Yesin, keep me posted. Let me know what your plan is when you're doing this. Again, the power, excuse me, I need water. The power of accountability, imperfect consistency, and just pushing on day in and day out. So Fumi asks, was it a 5 day water fast or dry fast? It was a water fast with coffee, black coffee, and an occasional Coke Zero. Anim for Jindam says, what foods did you eat to break your fast? So I don't know if you're looking to hear the healthy version of this, but it wasn't healthy at all. After I finished my 5 day fast, I went to grab coffee and I broke with a cafe latte. I think yesterday I said I was really craving coffee with cream, but I just got coffee with whole milk. So a cafe latte. I wasn't at home. I'm moving to a different part of Manila. So I took 2 protein bars with me because I didn't know if I was going to have access to the foods I wanted. So I just had a cafe latte with 2 protein bars. And then later when I got back to my place here, so I was in a rush. So I ended up going to McDo. If you don't know what McDo is, it's McDonald's. I went to McDonald's. I got 20 chicken nuggets. I ate that with barbecue sauce, sweet and sour sauce, and this Cajun sauce. I had corn. I had bananas. They're called Lakatan bananas. Actually, I have some. Actually, hold on. And get these bananas. Hold on. They look like regular like Cavendish bananas, like the States has, but Lakatan bananas are so good. They're so much sweeter and like they're just so much better. Anyway, so I had bananas. I had later on I went to grab an early dinner with my familia, with my cousin and my niece. and her boyfriend, and we ended up getting Filipino food. I had I had beef tapas with rice, garlic rice, and two over easy eggs. I had palabok, which is like a noodle dish that comes with like hard boiled eggs and chicharron on top and another sauce. So it wasn't the healthiest. Later that evening, I ate a little healthier. I cooked at home here. I had shrimp with broccoli, mushrooms, and rice. I had digestive wheat biscuits. So then the unhealthier foods came back. I had this Japanese cream bun, and I had ube hopia, which is also another Filipino dessert. And that's everything I ate. That was 5,900 calories. Now, listen, I know you're asking this because maybe you want to know what healthy foods I ate. And I say this so you understand that you do not have to eat the way that I do. I want people to understand that you can eat healthier than me. You don't have to eat 5,900 calories like me. For most people, when they're wondering what to eat, you already know you don't have to eat processed foods. You don't have to eat ultra processed foods. All that matters is you lock into whatever you need to do for yourself. This is why I always tell people you have to find out what your journey looks like. So for most people, if you're looking for advice on how to break a fast, especially after fasting for a long time, because you know what? I saw people in the comments. I saw someone in the comments yesterday that was just like, "Oh, you're gonna have a hard time." Like, there's always comments about diarrhea, and I guess I have to keep telling people I do not work this way. I might be an anomaly when it works this way because I just listed everything that I ate, right? I just listed everything that I ate, the 5,900 calories, everything that I ate, and I have zero issues when it comes to my stomach. I don't have diarrhea like that. I went out with my cousin and her niece, or my niece and her boyfriend, and we hung out at the mall for a while. And I went to get coffee and I broke with coffee and protein bars at a coffee spot and hung out there for a while. I have zero issues. Later after that, I rode the train home and the bus. I know a lot of people cannot, because I always see people in the comments, Jerome, after I fast for this long, I eat and then I'm just in the bathroom. I just explode in the bathroom, which I'm sorry to hear that from many people. So again, it's different. Hopefully that's helpful with that question. Hopefully you got maybe some answers when I answered you there. Zaki asks, what 0-calorie drinks do you have during your fast and how often? What 0-calorie drinks? When I was living in the States, Coke Zero, Pepsi Zero, Diet Coke, Diet Pepsi, Diet Dr. Pepper, Vitamin Zero, anything that's 0 calories. How often? Whenever I wanted it. I don't drink it all day, every day. I mean, a black coffee, I usually have once a day. So you have to play this by ear. And that's the thing too, Zaki, is that's entirely up to you. Just because you might have too much one day doesn't mean that you have to do that every single day. Think about what your end goal here is. Is your end goal to lose weight? Is your end goal for the pure effects of fasting? Because if you're looking for the purest effects or benefits, then you know that probably a Coke Zero isn't going to get you there. That's entirely up to you. So hopefully that's helpful. I can't tell you how much you should drink or how much you shouldn't, but you already know what good, clean, healthy eating looks like. That's why it shouldn't be a surprise when people say, but can I eat this? I'm like, well, think about it. How healthy is it? How much of it do you really want to eat? And don't be surprised then if the weight pushes itself up. That's kind of the best way I can interpret that. I will say, so you eat 5,900 on your refeed days and lose weight? Yes, I do. Depends on how long I fast for. I mean, when I lost 80 pounds in less than 5 months, and I was eating more than 5,900. I was eating anywhere between 6 and 7,000 calories, but I was fasting for 90 hours. So if I ate less than 5,900, I wouldn't have to fast for as long. That depends. Like I tell people, don't be surprised when you eat a ton of calories and the weight goes up, because that's what should be expected. The real question is, if you're going to fast and try to balance that out, can you? Because most people cannot. When I did 90-hour fasts, I did it for 5 months in a row, but I still ate 7,000 calories and continue to lose weight. Why? Because the math just maths. If I'm not eating for 4 days and my TDEE is somewhere around 2,300 calories a day, I'm surpassing that. I will continue to lose weight. And that's how I dropped the 80 pounds that quickly. Freddie on Facebook says, hi, Jerome. Hi, Freddie. How's it going? Welcome. Nice to have you here. So I'm going to get back into these stats. We're going to just go through my goals for the month of March. And then just to quickly round this off again, I lost 12.4 pounds after my 5-day fast. My goals for March are exactly the same as they were for February. It's to track my weight daily. It's to track all of my fasts. It's to track all of my refeeds. It's to track my calories. This month, my calories are 71,300 calories for the month of March. Why is it more than February? Because there are more days in March. Simple as that. In March, it was 64,400 calories. For February, it was 64,400. For March, 71,300. It's to track my protein, to track my steps, perform strength training after my refeeds, and then to track my sleep. I'm going to go over these goals again in March. Look at that. This isn't just about fasting. Remember, yes, this is a fasting channel. Yes, I will talk about fasting. Obviously, it is the foundation of what I do, but it's more than just that. And you need to understand that on day one. If you're in here thinking fast, the moment you fail at fasting is the moment that you need to get your other levers in gear. Are you working on the way you eat, the way you sleep, the way you exercise? If you are not, it's time to start paying attention to that. Because anyone in here right now that's talking about doing a 5-day fast, a 6-day fast, a 7-day fast, even a 3-day fast, the moment you don't do that, what do you do after? How will you make sure that you can balance this out? Because not everyone is good at fasting. That's just a fact. I'm good at fasting. I can claim that. I've been doing this shit for a long time. I suck at eating. I mean, I'm good at eating. I could probably out-eat most people, but I suck when it comes to the control of my eating. Is it something that I continue to work on? Yes. Me eating 5,900 calories yesterday is better than when I would eat 20,000 calories on a binge day. There's a big difference between the two. You have to get good at everything that you do. You have to have a backup plan. You have to trust the process. You have to stop cycling with this all or nothing thinking. You have to stop thinking about what other people say is right and wrong. You already know eating 0 calories is going to get you to lose weight. You know that eating healthier, eating cleaner, not eating processed foods is better for you. Eating less calories is going to make you lose weight. You know that exercising is good for your heart. You know that strength training and keeping muscle and building muscle is good for your metabolism, or maybe you don't. So if you don't know that, now you know, which in turn ends up being a healthy thing that you do for yourself. You know that sleeping well and sleeping properly will help you keep the weight off, or at least give you the energy, give you the rest and recovery you need to retain your muscle and build your muscle. And if you don't, now you do. You know that this is so much more than just the physical part. Actually, I feel like most people don't know that. A lot of this is a psychological game. A lot of this is a mind game. There are many of us that do not think about the mental part of this. How hard our brains will tell us it's time to eat, it's time to break. And then you'll convince yourself. You'll say something to yourself to get you out of fasting. The psychological part is a very hard part of this. And if you succumb to your brain telling you to just break every single time, you're not practicing. And if you get to the point where you're not even listening to your brain at that point and you're just like, oh, fuck it, I don't want to do this. Fuck this. I hate this. I'll come back next week. I'll start next week. I'll come back in April. Shit, it's just March 2nd. You're going to let the rest of the month pass you by? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Hector says, fasting is going well. I'm going to start working out. It's a lot of responsibility, but I'm doing it. I love to hear that, Hector. Keep me posted. Keep me posted. Thanks for the education. You're very welcome. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. Thanks for being here. Thanks so much. So my goals in March are exactly the same. And that's why when I talk about tracking your fasts, even if it's a short fast, track it. Why? Because it keeps you aware. That's the mental part of this as well. You're keeping track. You're not losing sight of what's important. That's why I say step on the scale regularly. Don't just step on the scale after you finish a fast. Don't just step on a scale after you eat healthy. Understand what your weight looks like when you eat bad. Accept that as fact. Move on with your life. Also, again, I understand if there are people who don't want to step on a scale because it causes them or it triggers them to overeat or binge. If that's the case, then keep the scale at bay. But don't just be stepping on the scale every time you accomplish good things. It's a very closed-minded way of doing things. This is why I am continuously transparent in what I do and accountable in what I do, because I think it's really important that I show all sides of myself, because that accountability is what I need to keep going. That's why I'm doing this for 848 days, because I have to be accountable to all of you on a regular basis. And even if nobody was watching this, I would still come here and be accountable in that way, because before I even started this channel, I was already accountable. Before I had any subscribers, I was already doing this on a regular basis. This had nothing to do about growing a channel. This had everything to do about being accountable. And that's what I continue to do today. The only thing that's different from day 1 to day 848 is now I just want to help people get to where they want to be as well. That's the only additional thing that I've put on here, is not just being accountable for myself, but helping others get to where they want to be. Thank you, Ox and Rooster. I love how you stay consistent. I love that too, because it's honestly been a game changer for me, especially for someone like me who's 45, who has never figured out a way to lose this weight, who has finally found a solution. And is it a perfect solution? No. But it's something that continues to work. It's something that I continue to refine and tweak and optimize. And I know it will just get better over time. So to go over the rest of these nerdy stats, like I said, my weight in March pushed itself up. After finishing a 5-day fast, I dropped down to 140.8 pounds. The day after the refeed, I pushed up to 150. Do I feel a certain way about it? Yeah, I do. I was like, shit, I gained 9.2 pounds after my refeed. I honestly was surprised. I didn't think I was going to push that much up in weight, but I think about it like, okay, maybe you lost a lot more weight as well. Maybe you dropped 12 pounds because you were off the creatine for the last 5 days. Maybe you lost a lot of glycogen in the process. Maybe it was a lot of water weight as well. You also came off of a big refeed the day you started. It's a number of things. So was I surprised in a certain way? Yes. Is it going to stop me from doing what I'm doing? No. The game plan doesn't change. I am not harping over it. I'm not saying, oh, well, this sucks. I gained almost all the weight after a 5-day fast. Time to give things up and walk away. No, the game plan doesn't change. I'm still going to get my steps in. I ate so much yesterday. I can't wait to get to the gym today and lift. That's exactly what I'm doing after this. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to lift heavy. It'll be nice to get back into the gym after not lifting for 5 days. I also really like giving myself time off because I have been lifting now every other day for a while. I've been lifting pretty consistently for a while now. And I think it was time to give my body a couple of days of rest because I've been having some rotator cuff issues. I still have an issue with my bicep. I've been having this issue here on my elbow now. I might just be getting old too, and my joints just are not the same. But ganun talaga, which is Tagalog for it is what it is. It's just how it is, right? I continue to take care of myself and protect myself. So I think taking some time off was good. Karia asks, what was the solution? What was the solution to what? To losing this weight? Accountability, imperfect consistency, giving myself grace, continuing to be honest and transparent. So if that's what you were asking, hopefully that's helpful. If you need more information on that, I can talk about that maybe in a little bit. I just want to get through the rest of these. So for the month of March, which is really interesting because I need to maybe redefine how I say this, because the month of March already shows a 131-hour fast, which is like, that's not really a March goal. That was something I did for mostly the month of February. So I don't know how I determined that. I'll have to take a look at that in the future. Anyway, if we're going literally off the month of March, yes, on March 1st, I ended a 132-hour fast. I'm currently working on a fast today. I finished my refeed last night. Where is my iPhone? Oh, it's over here. I'm currently 11 hours fasted now. So I'm 11 hours fasted now. I will be pushing this fast for 36 hours minimum. That's my plan for this current fast. What about you? Are you currently fasting? What's your plan? If you have no plan right now, I'm telling you right now, I'm 11 hours fasted. I will be fasting again for the next 25 hours on top of this. So if any of you right now, it might be Sunday night for many of you out west. It's 8:30 p.m. in Chicago because I know because I'm from Chicago. If you're looking to push a fast, if any of you want to at least get 24 hours in, go. Let's do it. Come along with me because I'll be breaking in the next, I'll be pushing a 36-hour fast. Or if this is something you just want to do right now, just be like, hey, Jerome, I'm in it with you. Sometimes when people ask, Jerome, how are you able to do this? How are you able to just keep, again, it's the accountability. It's showing up. So I'm offering this to you as a challenge as well. You want to fast? You want to fast with me? Fast with me right now. I'm pushing a 36 right now. You want to push a 36? Go push a 36. Get a 36-hour fast under your belt. I'm here to do it with you. So if that's helpful for you, keep me posted. Andre just donated a $10 super chat. Andre, thank you again for the support as always. Andre, it's always nice to see you on a Sunday evening over there. Andre says, J-Man, congrats on completing your 120-hour fast. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I knew it would be old business for you. It was, in a way. Question, is it harder to lose weight because of your creatine intake or not? Good luck with your move. Thanks so much. Hopefully the move will be smooth. I don't have a lot of stuff that I'm bringing over because I literally moved here with a suitcase and one box. So I don't have that much to move over. It's more so getting everything installed and so on and so forth. But is it harder to lose weight because of your creatine intake or not? So here's the thing. Creatine is new for me. I didn't start taking creatine until I would say maybe September or maybe late summer of 2025. And I only take 5 grams a day. I take creatine monohydrate. Well, it's over there. But I don't know if it's, I haven't noticed any changes really. I mean, if anything, I've noticed my lifting has gotten better ever since I've taken creatine, but it could be a combination of just me being consistent. So I've noticed my PRs getting better, but is it harder to lose? Is it harder to lose weight? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think I've noticed much of a difference. I also realize that whether or not it's water weight, it's okay. Again, I'm more concerned about how I fit in my clothes, what my blood work looks like. I think those things are more important at the end of the day. But I haven't noticed anything drastic in regards to that. And yeah, even with what Spike is saying, creatine, I'm holding more water in the muscles. So scale is up a bit compared to before when I didn't run creatine, probably up 10 to 15 pounds from creatine. Really, Spike? You're up 10 to 15 pounds? I mean, you're taller than me. I'm almost positive. So I would imagine maybe I didn't gain that much weight. But you know what's really interesting? Because it because sorry, sometimes I'll say things in Tagalog I'm not used to. Yesterday when I was having dinner with my family, my niece's boyfriend was like, he was like, yeah, he's like, you look smaller. Like, he's like, you look like you lost weight. And I was like, really? I was like, where do you see it? He's like, I kind of see it in the face. He's like, but I see it in your arms. And I was just like, immediately I thought, I'm like, is it because maybe I haven't taken creatine in like 5 days and I've just been fasting the entire, so maybe that's what he was saying as well. But yeah. So yeah, maybe in that regard, Andre, if you're not taking something like creatine, you probably won't be holding as much water. So maybe there might be a little more difficulty when it comes to the scale, but that's why I don't worry about it either. That's why I'm not so worried about being at 145 or specifically at 135, right? That's why I'm more reliant on, hey, when I get my DEXA, I'll get my DEXA and see what those numbers look like. But I know the true test. And this is also a really good piece of advice for any of you watching right now. You and I both know that your real goals is when you are standing naked in front of the mirror. You know where the fat is. You know what muscle gain looks like. And so sometimes I tell people, don't fool yourselves, look at the mirror or take pictures of yourself on a regular basis and see what that transformation looks like. Because there's nothing else that can show proof than what you look like butt ass naked in the mirror. So again, just something to consider. I like to tell people, yes, the scale is a good guideline. The way your clothes fit, obviously, your blood work's really important, but nothing is going to beat taking a look at the mirror and knowing, yeah, I could lose more, or hey, I have muscle building here. For me, a big indicator is just, am I fitting into my clothes properly? Do I feel good? Do I have energy? One of the things here, I take a lot of public transit here in Manila, and anytime there are escalators, I always take the stairs. And I know my physical level of, or at least I know how I feel energy wise, because sometimes it's like 50 stairs up to the top. And I can go up those 50 steps and I have zero issues. I'm not out of breath. I'm fine. Sometimes I look at that as an indicator of my health as well. Again, Andre, I'm so sorry. Andre, well, also to Spike, but Spike, Andre, thank you for the $10 super chats. I appreciate your support, both of you. Thank you so much. Okay, so to get back to just give you a little more nerd stats, there's not a lot here because we're just starting out for the month of March. Actually, I should have said March, but that's okay. My March refeed weight was 150 pounds. So I'm 150 right now. I'm currently 150 right now, even though I was 140.8 yesterday. I'm literally up 9.2 pounds. But I also know what's going to happen. I know tomorrow when I step on that scale, that weight will push itself back down. Yeah. And those are all my stats for the day. So I'm going to take a second here. I'm going to go into chat and just see where people are at. I'm just looking here on Instagram. Ashna says, ADF 3 times a week and eating OMAD on refeed days in the morning. That's great, Ashna. How's that been going for you? Good? Keep me posted. Thanks for sharing. Steve King says, I'm down 30 pounds since January 5th. Steve, let's go. Keep me posted. Thanks for sharing. Also, by the way, for people who are watching on Instagram, this Instagram feed will probably end in the next 5 minutes. There's like an hour time limit. So if any of you want to hop on, I'm on YouTube. You can also find me on Facebook at Finally Fasting. But if you want to see people chatting, most people chat on YouTube. So let me go talk to people in chat, see where they're at. One of the things that I find really important is people sharing their story. So Eric says scale was at 85.15 today after a 14-hour fast yesterday and working on a 24-hour fast right now. We'll be eating a kilo of kangaroo mints. It's always, when I see Eric talk about eating kangaroo, I'm just like, I haven't tried it. I would like to see what that tastes like. With 500, I don't know if that means grams, probably so, low-fat cottage cheese for a protein-sparing modified fast OMAD. I love it, Eric. Thanks for sharing with us. Keep me posted on your journey, as always. Slex says, I got to 330 in November, made a goal of 300 by the new year. I was still around 330 by then, so I pushed my goal till March. I got as low as 316 now and 320, pushing the goal until April. Slex, first of all, congrats to you on continuing to be here. I would also say, I mean, it's good to give yourself goals. I just hope you don't beat yourself up if you don't hit those goals in that specific time frame. Continue working on yourself. Continue practicing imperfect consistency. Keep us posted on your journey. It's like, I hope as you come here regularly, you know that it takes time and effort to do what you're doing. So kudos to you. Keep me posted. I appreciate you being as honest as you have been. So please keep me posted on what you're doing. Thanks for sharing. Peace to All says, hi, Finally Fasting fam, I'm guessing, or unless you're talking to me, or no, probably all. So hope you're all well. I did a 50-hour fast ending on Thursday. Congrats on your 50. Just wanted to make sure I could still do it. That's great. That's great. How'd it feel? Peace to all. Hopefully good. Keep me posted. Thanks for sharing. Mrs. Angela says, hello, everyone. Last Sunday, I started, Hello, everyone. Last Sunday, I started at 174. By Friday, 166.8. Refed Friday and Saturday, currently doing 25 to 86 hours. Is that what you're saying? Somewhere between at least a full day and 86. Congrats, Mrs. Angeles, for dropping that weight. Is the plan then just kind of flexibly fasting during that point? Keep me posted. Steve King, you're very welcome. Thanks for the kind words. I see you there on Instagram. Ronnie says, hello, fasting fam. 136.4 hours modified fasting completed. I'm beyond proud of my efforts. Proud of you for 136 hours. Congrats. Thanks to everyone for giving me room to stretch myself. Ronnie, congrats to you. For anybody watching this right now, some of you might be asking, what do you mean modified fast? Modified fasts, for anyone watching this, is it can be whatever. Sometimes people will modify their fast by doing juice fasting. Sometimes people will modify their fast by doing a fat fast. Sometimes people will modify a fast by just giving themselves a small amount of calories every day. Maybe it's 250, maybe it's 500, maybe it's less. But here's the thing. Whatever a modified fast looks like to somebody might be different to somebody else. If you do not like the terms of a modified fast, you do not have to do it. But I also don't need people here judging others on how they do things, because at the end of the day, people who do a modified fast are still putting themselves at a severely big calorie deficit. Again, it is not something that you have to do if you don't want to. But Jerome, that doesn't count. I don't give a fuck what you think counts and doesn't count. If it doesn't count to you, then don't do it. Right? I want to remove this stigma of it has to be this and it can only be pure water. And how dare you stop the gatekeeping? Nobody needs it. If you want to gatekeep, you can gatekeep somewhere else, right? I think it's really important that all of us understand that we give ourselves the opportunity to do things that work for us without shame, without embarrassment, without any kind of judgment on that end. Because we don't need it. It's not necessary. So, and again, this isn't calling out Ronnie or anyone. I'm just saying, in general, you have to do what works for you. That's why when people are like, Jerome, but you drink a Coke Zero, that doesn't count. That's fine. You don't have to drink a Coke Zero. But I also know that for me, it keeps the weight off. It keeps fasting not be as boring, right? You can have a sparkling water. You can have a black iced coffee. You can have pure water all day, every day, if that's what you want to do. You want to have pure water and roll around in the grass and play hopscotch, then go ahead. Again, you got to do what works for you. I just think of some weird YouTube video. I'm on the hopscotch fasting diet. These fucking titles. These people putting out these viral videos of some bullshit that I see. It's just, listen, there's no magic thing about it. That's why I tell people this is boring. For the month of March, I'm doing the same thing again. It's boring. I have nothing special to show you. It is the same thing over and over and over. And you know what I look at that, or when I think about what I do, that's just me being as healthy and as happy as I can be. There isn't a big magic trick to it. Yes, you can try things, see if they work. And if they work, that's great. You want to eat steak and eggs all day? Be my guest. You got to do what works for you. If it's helping you lose weight, great. If your blood work is optimal, great. I can't say one thing or the other because I don't eat that way. You got to do what works for you. I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to tell you what to do either. I'm just giving you my experience. I will give advice when I can, but when people ask me, Jerome, should I get off my medication? No, you shouldn't. I'm not your doctor. Why would I tell you to do any of those things, right? Sorry, I need to clear this out because the live stream for Instagram just ended. I wish they didn't put a time limit on Instagram, but it's okay. Gloria says, hello fam, I'm 48 hours in my fast and another 72 hours to go. Gloria, congrats on being 48 hours in. Hopefully you're feeling well. Keep me posted. Thanks for sharing. Let me scroll down here just to see if I missed anyone. Bad Karma says, I've lost 14 kg from January 25th to February 27th. Thanks, Jerome. Thank you for sharing. Congrats to you on losing 14 kg in a month. That's amazing. What's the plan next, Bad Karma? Keep me posted. Let me know. I know I always tell people to let me know what's next, but I do that for accountability. I also do that because I read through this. Don't think I don't read through the chats, or I don't read through the comments, or I don't read through the stupid ass comments that people leave either. I read everything. So I appreciate you sharing. Let me see. Where am I at here? Hesso says, my goal is to complete 36-hour rolling fast for the entire month of March. Let's go. I like that. I mean, for me, that's my minimum. My goal is your goal right now, is to just do rolling 36s. Although, here's the thing, and I've mentioned this a couple of times. I'm going on vacation next week. So I'm going to be flying domestically, which is weird for me to say because when I say fly domestically, I just think of the US. But I'm flying domestically in the Philippines because I'm a citizen here. So I'm flying to a different part of the Philippines. I'm going to be on vacation for a week. So I will probably not be eating, or I probably will not do 36-hour fasts. That's right. For the week from March 8th, March 7th, I have to double check. For that week, I will be gone and I will most likely be eating back-to-back days. Anyway, never mind. That's not my goal. But I will still try to keep a caloric goal in mind, or a monthly caloric limit in mind, which makes me think now that I'm going to be going on vacation for a week, I will most likely be doing an extended fast again for the end of March, because I just don't know if I'm going to keep my calories at bay by the end of March. But we'll see. We'll see. Spike says, I did 92 hours. And I love that for you, Spike. I love that for you. I appreciate you all sharing where you were at. Adiva says, I made it 69 hours, which is great. It's great. Let me scroll down here. Ophelia says, I'm on day 12. On day 10, I wanted to eat a tub of frosting. I know that feeling. Not sure where that sugar craving came from, but it was out of nowhere. Ophelia, how long are you going for? I can't remember if you told me. Maybe you did, but keep me posted. Congrats on you being day 12. My goodness, day 12. Thanks for sharing. Scroll down. Sorry, everyone. I'm just looking at people leaving comments or questions. So if any of you have comments or questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you, Randall. Randall says, hello, Jerome. Congrats on the 5-day fast. Randall, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Zachy asks, what's the biggest rebound you've had after a refeed? Like how much weight have I gained? I think there was one refeed where I gained 11 or 12 pounds. I think there was, especially at the very beginning of my journey when I lost all the weight and I went on vacation for the first time. I think I went on vacation and I think there was one time where I just took 3 days off and I think I gained 20 pounds in 3 days, which is just wild. And it's just because my calories are just hard for me to control. If any of you are new to this channel and you've never seen me eat, I do have playlists of something I call refeeds. So you can watch me eat. I also want people to think about this when I eat. You're watching someone who's only 5'3", so I'm short. I'm 5'3". I can weigh anywhere between, usually my average is around 145 right now, but I can put it down. I can put food down. Especially during my heavier days when I was binging, I was probably eating 20,000 calories a day, probably on average, if not more on some days, maybe less on others. But what's the longest fast I've completed? I've done an 11-day fast. I don't really have any plans to do anything that long again. Let me scroll down here. Fran says, still ADF through the week with the 2-day fast at work. I traded my shift this week for the weekend, so I'm a little nervous about it because I really rely on the Tuesday, Wednesday live streams to get through. I have faith in you, Fran. I'm glad that I can be supportive on those days that I live stream, but you also have it in you. And you actually proved it to yourself when you were telling me on the autophagy live stream that you've never been able to fast in a particular way, and then you were able to do it. So again, even if it isn't as successful as you think it would be, you're putting it into practice. You're doing something different that you haven't done. And so, yes, there might be some hardships at the beginning, but it means that in the future, it'll just get better. So keep me posted, Fran, on what you've been doing. Thanks for sharing. Thank you. Jay Diddle says, is the language you're learning part of your heritage? It is. It's called Tagalog. Tagalog. So the thing about learning Tagalog is my mom speaks it. My dad spoke it. I say spoke because my dad passed away a while ago. But I always understood maybe 75% of it. I just never spoke it in my life. And so now I spend a lot of time speaking because it's how I communicate here. Many people here in the Philippines speak English, but Tagalog is their native language and it's what they mainly speak. And that's how they're able to really communicate in the way they want to. And I'm not saying everyone, right? But I'm just saying many people here do. So Yes, it's part of my heritage. It's one of the reasons I'm here too, is to be fluent. I would love to be fluent in Tagalog. So, thanks for asking. I appreciate the question. Rod says, would it have the same results just doing OMAD? Yes. I believe if I just did OMAD, I could probably lose the weight as well. But I'm just talking about weight wise. When it comes to other benefits of fasting, that's probably a different story. But I would probably have the same results doing OMAD. But what requires me to do that is to really control my calories, is to maybe only eat 1,700 calories a day, 1,600 calories, maybe 1,800, maybe more than that, but it would be a very slow ride. So, yes, would it have the same results losing weight? Yes, if I could control my calories. The problem is I cannot control my calories. Is it something that I am continuing to work on? Yes, of course. So, that's why I like to tell people, don't worry so much about how long you're fasting for. You have to think about how long you're fasting for plus the way you're eating. How long you're fasting for plus the way you're eating plus the way you're performing any kind of cardio or strength training, right? It's a combination of these things. So hopefully that's helpful. Did I miss anything here? J Dill says, going for a 72. Let's go. Keep me posted. Keep me posted. Aisha, nice to see you. Aisha says, I refed Friday. Currently, I'm a little over 2 days fasted. I'm planning on refeeding this coming Friday. Right now, as of this morning, I'm at 172. I'm actually up 2 pounds from yesterday. I mean, I think you and I both know that sounds great. Remember, Aisha, don't worry so much about that number on the scale. Just keep doing what you're doing. I know you are, and I know you know this. It's just a reminder, just to keep you on track. So I appreciate you continuing to share your daily or your regular journey schedule or your schedule on your journey with us. So thanks again for sharing, Aisha. Okay, let me scroll down here. A says, congrats to you for your 120 plus hour fast, Jerome. Thanks so much, A. Also, congrats to everyone who fasted with him. I'm planning to do 18-hour fasts until Tuesday and a 24-hour fast on Thursday. I love to hear it, A. I always say this. I always like to bring A up because A has been here probably one of the longest people who is just here consistently sharing her story. And for someone like A2, who is in maintenance, who stays where she's at because she is continuously working on her journey, tweaking things, putting long fasts in every now and then, and even doing shorter ones, and figuring out the diet part and the exercise part. So thank you again, A, for sharing with us. Thank you for the kind words as well. John asks, I can't get past 5 days of fasting. I'm trying to do 30 days. Any advice? Yeah, is if you can't get past 5 days, what's wrong with doing rolling 120s? Or is it because you just don't want to do 120 and you want to do longer? Or is it because doing rolling 120s is difficult? Is it because you want to just do a 30-day fast in general? If you want to push and get an extended fast, my really big piece of advice for you is to just keep going. I've heard or I've said this many times, but if you can do 5 days, you can do 5 days and 2 hours. You can do 5 days and 5 hours. You can do 5 days and 10 hours. It's about building that fasting muscle. Now, what I'm really wondering though is it because after you get through 5 days, then you find yourself eating whatever and then you're gone for a month or you're gone for 3 weeks, that you can't perform rolling 120s? Because it can also be a conversation of, are you burning yourself out? And are you trying to do a 30-day fast because you're trying to do the all or nothing? You're trying to do something super extreme so that after the 30 days, you'll be at the weight you want to be, and then you'll never have to worry about this again. Because the reality is the journey doesn't end, right? So I don't know what your main goal is for 30 days, but if your goal is to get to a certain weight, hopefully, if you're able to do 5 days, why are you not doing rolling 120s? Or maybe you are doing rolling 120s and this is something different. Maybe this is a spiritual thing. Maybe it's for whatever reason. But if that's really my best advice is find ways to push and build that fasting muscle. My advice is if you want to push 5 days, think about other ways of modifying that fast. If you don't want to modify that fast with a 0 calorie drink or even having a minimal amount of calories, then that's on you, right? But maybe what it means first is doing a modified fast that is longer than what you've typically been doing, because that is another way to build it, is giving yourself the opportunity to modify it, but still feel successful in knowing you can still do something in a modified way. If that's not what you want to do, you also don't have to do it that way. But hopefully that's helpful, John. Keep me posted. I don't know if I've seen you here before. Maybe I have. I run into a lot of names and I can't remember everyone, so let me know. Tanya says, hey, Jerome, I completed my 5-day fast. Congrats to you, Tanya. I hit the timer for 6 more. Thank you, Jerome. You're very welcome. Keep me posted on your 6th day. Wow. I mean, to go from a 5-day and then now push a 6-day, keep me posted. Thanks for sharing, Tanya. Christina asks, can some people not lose weight fasting? I mean, what are we talking about here in terms of fasting? Are we talking about 16-hour fasts? Because a 16-hour fast isn't enough to really just show that weight drop on the scale. Are we talking about 20-hour fast, 23-hour fast? Because even in that regard, sometimes it's not going to move the scale. Now, if you're talking about doing 20-hour fasts every single day and you're not losing weight, then you need to look at the next piece of this. What does your eating look like? I mean, that's really what it comes down to. If you're only fasting for a shorter amount of time, then you have to really, really hone in on the way you eat and eat cleaner, eat less. If that is not working, then you need to push a longer fast, right? Think about the other levers of your weight loss journey, what your exercise looks like, what your sleep looks like. If you want more advice on this, reach out to me, Christina. Can some people not lose weight? Maybe. But I always like to tell people, if you're eating 0 calories and you're fasting for an extended period of time, you're going to lose weight. Unless there's some other huge metabolic issue, which I think is just a very small percentage of people, I can't imagine it not being a thing. So maybe I need more info on what you're doing, Christina. But thanks for the question. Andre with another $5 super chat. Andre, thank you for the continued support. Again, as always, Andre says, Jay, man, so many committed people here. I see it. I see it. And I love it. And I will continue to push this story. I will continue to push this message that what it takes for many of us is to just be here and show up. Show some accountability in what you're doing. Stop running away when you don't fast for as long as you wanted to. Don't run away when the weight is going up on the scale. I like to tell people this as well. When you are struggling, that is the more reason you should be here. And I'm not saying you need to be here on these live streams. I'm just saying you need to be accountable. You need to own up to what you're doing. You need to own up or you need to show up for yourself. If being here is important, then be here. Share with us, right? So Andre, thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate your support as always. Thank you so much. Fast Faster says, do you think you could compete in an eating competition like Matt Stoney? Many people have asked me this, and I think there is a part of me that probably could. The only reason I do not is because for somebody like me who has binge eating issues or who has binged in the past, I just don't think it is wise of me to do. But don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't think about it, because sometimes the way I eat, people are just amazed. And then they look at me and they're like, I don't understand how, or where does that go? I think people will watch me eat when I post videos of me eating out. They're like, how are you not running to the bathroom after eating all of that? I'm like, I don't know. So, But yes, I don't think I could beat Matt Stoney. I don't think I'm a competitive eater in any regard. I just know I can put down the food, is all I'm saying. Melly Mel says, my plan is ADF for all of March, but GI issues flared up. Ate today because my symptoms were worse on an empty stomach. Plan B is to break if needed, but still going to keep setting the timer for 36 plus no matter what, which is great. And Melly Mel, maybe another stipulation you can add into this is if you end up eating on that day, maybe it just means eating less on that day. Maybe it means really honing in on your calorie limit for that day. Because, right, if you're having such a hard time and you're having GI issues, then it's like, okay, on the days that I have to eat back to back, on that back to back eating day, I'm going to eat super clean, or I'm going to eat in a very small calorie limit and then push a longer fast and go again. Again, this is just a way to kind of balance things out. Of course, you don't have to do it that way, just some advice. So keep me posted, Melly Mel. Thanks for sharing with us. Sebastian, do you track your steps too? I do on a regular basis. For the last 2+ years, I currently average somewhere around 12 to 14,000 steps. If you watch any of my past live streams, my past videos, more recently, I talk about where my steps are at. On my 5-day fast, I was averaging over 12,000. No, I was averaging around 12,000 steps, I would say. Okay, let me scroll down here. Lonely Lion says, Jerome, what do you think of ketosis via fasting or ketosis via diet? Okay, I'm going to give you my honest truth. When it comes to ketosis via fasting or ketosis via diet, my honest truth is I don't think about it. I couldn't even give you any info on it because that's how much I think about ketosis. I don't. I understand the way it works and the process of ketosis, but I don't even dig into that. To me, I just tell myself I'm fasting or I'm eating clean. I think about the healthy ways of doing things, and that's it. I don't dig too much into it. So I get it, and I understand it's important. I know a lot of people like to talk about insulin. I think insulin is very important as well. That's something, especially coming from someone who's a type 2 diabetic, who has his type 2 diabetes in remission, who has his high blood pressure in remission. All of these things are important to me. But when it comes to ketosis, I don't think about it in that way. I don't record my ketones. I don't do any of that. I do keep track of my insulin. I do keep track of my A1C, my blood sugar, but outside of that, I don't think much about it in that way. So I know it's probably not the answer you want. Maybe other people can chime in when it comes to ketosis via fasting or ketosis via diet, but I can't even add my 2 cents because I don't know enough about it to share. So that's my honest truth, I guess, is what I'm saying. Destiny says, try to do 42 days. Only made it to 81 hours, ate for 5 hours, going to push for 96 hours this time around. So I appreciate seeing this because when someone says, I'm going to try a 42-day fast, my initial gut reaction is like, that's a long fast. It also makes me wonder, what is your experience with fasting? When's the last time you've done something like this? Why are we doing this in the first place? Usually that's the bigger question I have lately. When people tell me they're going to do an extended fast, I'm like, for what? Why are we doing this? Are we doing this because we have a wedding to go to? Are we doing this because your birthday's coming up and you want to look a certain way? And when the answers to that is yes, I immediately think, are we doing something all or nothing right now? Because that is a very all or nothing type behavior. That's a very extreme behavior. And then I like to follow up by saying, well, maybe we need to have a backup plan. I don't like to tell people what they should or shouldn't do. There isn't going to be a part of me that will tell people don't do this unless I think it can endanger them, right? But I always like to tell people, you're going to have to break the moment you can't healthily do this. You're going to have to break if you feel a certain type of way, if you can't function like a normal human being, right? But what I like to see here is Destiny says, I made it to 81 hours. I ate for 5 hours. I'm going to push another fast. And this time it's not a 40 plus day fast. It's just, hey, I'm going to try to push a 4 day fast. And the same thing should apply, Destiny, that if it doesn't end up being 96 hours, if you make it to whatever, you refeed and you go again. You practice imperfect consistency. You practice accountability. You practice being transparent about what you're doing. So thank you for sharing, Destiny. Keep me posted on your journey as well. Roger says, my blood sugar from 7 to 5.1. That's amazing. I love to see that. Cholesterol level back to normal from 7.5 to 5.1. BP from 130 plus to 90 plus to 120, 80 or under that. Even my weight is kind of yo-yo. The best is I experience like losing inches is the best. Thank you, Jerome. You're very welcome. I appreciate the thanks. Hopefully I continue to be inspirational in that way, but kudos to you for putting the work in. Kudos to you for getting your blood sugar down, to getting your cholesterol back to normal, for getting your blood pressure back to normal. That's great. I love it. I love it. You know the benefits of doing this. So continue to show up for yourself, Roger. Keep me posted on your journey as well. Thanks again for sharing. Taj Mahal says, I did a 4-day fast last week, started late. Congrats on your 4-day fast. Planning on doing a 5-day fast this week, starting tomorrow on Monday. Keep me posted. Keep me posted. Thanks for sharing. I see Spike right underneath saying 120-hour fast. Let's go. Thanks for sharing, Taj Mahal. Okay, I think we're good here. I think I'm up to date with where I need to be with people in chat. So I'm going to take some time now and we're going to do fit check. I haven't done fit check in a minute because I've been out of my current unit. You're only going to see this place for the next, I don't know how many weeks. Depends when I move out of here. But I'll be in my new place in a couple weeks. So we'll be doing fit check in a different location soon. I mean, still in Manila, just a different part of Manila. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna do fit check. Fit check is when I stand back here and show you what I look like physically. Why do I do this? Again, for accountability. It's an opportunity for me to show you what I look like. I should have done fit check after I finished my 5-day fast. So you could have seen what I look like versus me pushing up 9 pounds today, because I literally pushed up 9 pounds today when I stepped on the scale. But before I go ahead and do fit check, I'm just going to remind you that I have been overweight my entire life. As a child, I've been overweight. As an adolescent, I have been overweight. As a teenager here, with blonde highlights and some weird necklace I put around. And if you look at the very bottom there, I think I was wearing yellow shoes next to my tita with her designer bag. That's just the Filipino way. By the time I was a teenager, I was already morbidly obese. In my 20s, in my 30s, and even in my 40s, I have been overweight, obese, morbidly obese. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this camera and continue talking about fit check. So why do I share those pictures? I share those pictures so you understand that as somebody who has been overweight, obese, morbidly obese his entire life, I have now been able to lose that weight and keep it off for over 2 years naturally. I'm not on any medication. I'm not on GLP-1. I've never had weight loss surgery. I'm not on TRT, HRT. I'm not on any kind of testosterone or hormone replacement therapy. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't take your medication. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be on GLP-1 peptides, Ozempic, nothing. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do any of these things. But I'm letting people understand that as somebody who has been obese, morbidly obese his entire life, I have been able to lose this weight naturally because of fasting, but also because, more importantly, working on my habits, creating good habits, being accountable, being consistent, being imperfectly consistent, right? So For many of you who might feel discouraged, for many of you who tell themselves, why me? Why is it me? Why do I have to fast? Why do I have to, do you think you're the only one? Because for a while, I thought I was the only one. It was only until I made this YouTube channel and I started coaching people, or people in the chat tell me what their issues are, did I realize, hey, it's not just them, but it's me as well. Or it's not just me, but it's them as well. And so I like to tell people that if you have never tried to work on your habits before, if you have never tried to be accountable before, maybe it's time to do so. So again, we're gonna do fit check. I'm very bloated right now. I'm literally 9 pounds up. Yesterday, I should have done fit check at my Airbnb because that was the leanest I've been in a while. But I'm up 9 pounds today because I ate 5,900 calories yesterday. But I'm wearing this shirt, which is an extra large boys shirt. So this is a children's shirt. I bought this shirt I think I bought this shirt probably over a year ago now at Target for like $4 at the boys section, because children's clothes are much cheaper than adult clothes. So I can't even wear an adult small because it's too big and long on me. Why? Because I'm short. I'm only 5'3". Today I weigh 150. Yesterday I weighed 140. But front shot, these shorts are also boys shorts right now. Here's the side shot, right? Rear, side. I do wear a compression shirt. I can grab at this. This is probably a combination of loose skin, bloat, definitely bloat from yesterday. And loose skin. Did I say loose skin? I think I did. And yes, I do have loose skin. I have loose skin on my neck. As I pull, you can see it. It doesn't bounce back. Remember, I'm 45 years old too. I have loose skin on my upper arms that are here. And that's me trying to. I do lift weights, hoping that lifting weights will help fill in the gaps, but I just like lifting weights in general. Actually, I'm really looking forward to going to the gym in a minute because I haven't gone in a long time. Since I started this 5-day fast, I only lifted weights after day 1. So I haven't lifted weights since, I don't know what day it was. Monday? It's been a week maybe. I think it's been a week now since I've lifted. So it'll be good to go back. I have loose skin on my lower belly. I have loose skin on my upper inner thighs. If any of you are wondering what I look like without my shirt on, you can go check my last YouTube short or Instagram reel or TikTok. It's all under Finally Fasting, to see what I look like, because people not always, but people ask about that. So I think that's it at this point. I will go through any last questions or any last things any of you want to share. But in the meantime, if any of you are looking for additional help when it comes to fasting, weight loss, or accountability, you can go to finallyfasting.com. Finallyfasting.com for a one-on-one coaching session. We can go over a game plan and a strategy to help you get to where you need to be. I say this time and time again. It does not take rocket science to lose weight. You know that fasting will help you lose weight. You know that eating healthy will help you lose weight. Limiting your calories will help you lose weight. Exercising will help you lose weight. Sleeping well will help you lose weight. All of those things doesn't take rocket science. All of those things you don't need a degree to know, right? But the hard part is the execution. The hard part is the accountability. If you're looking for an accountability partner or an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. I will make you accountable for things. That's the difference. Imagine if you had to show up on a regular basis and share your accountability. That is what I do this for. If you're looking for additional accountability in that way, you can go to finallyfasting.com for extra accountability or helping answer questions when it comes to fasting. That's what I do that for. If any of you want to support in an additional way, you can go to the link in the description of this live stream to be part of the Finally Fasting fam. It is just a way to support. Although if you join the autophagy group, you can join us Wednesday evenings at 7:30 p.m. Central, where we will go over or where we have a group coaching session where it's not just me on camera. Other people will hop on camera. Other people will share their stories for the week. Everyone will share what their goals look like because everyone has different goals. So if that's something you're interested in, just click the link in the description of this live stream to join us for our group coaching sessions on Wednesday evenings at 7:30 p.m. Central. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to wrap things up here. I don't know if I see any other questions or comments. I see many of you with just, I appreciate it. I just sometimes have time, or I have a hard time reading through the compliments. Thank you, Roger. You look healthy and younger than those younger pictures of yours. So inspiring. I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, when I show, so like, for example, maybe I can give you an idea. In this picture here, I think I was 17. I was 17 here, 17 or 18, because I think I was either a junior or a senior in high school. And we took a road trip to Houston. I have family in Houston. And so I was 17 or 18 here. I don't know if I was 19 here at this point. I was either 19 or 20 here. I would say I was anywhere between 22 and 24 here. I think I was around the same age then. God, it's always this picture I look at too. Like, look at that shirt. This is a double XL, I believe, that I wore. I think I bought this at Kohl's, like a Croft & Barrow double XL polo. And that polo was just like, I had to buy that polo so big just to cover my belly. And then this picture, I think, was in my mid-30s. That's it, really. So, and you all know what my life has been like in my 40s because I've been posting since 2019. Well, 2019, I was 38. But for anyone that's wondering what I've looked like in my 40s, you can just watch my latest videos. So thank you, Roger. I appreciate that. Thanks, Aisha. I appreciate the kind comments as well. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, A. So I appreciate it. I don't know if it's undetectable. A says the loose skin looks pretty much undetectable. I don't know if it is, but I'll keep going. You know, the one thing that I think about too is I'm 45 years old. And so I don't expect everything to just be perfect either, but it's okay. I'm good with it. Thanks, Jay Diddle. I appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words, everyone. Thank you so much. So I think we're going to wrap things up here. We will do this again on Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Central. Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central, Chicago time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. I always have to, oh man. And actually, the States, you guys are having daylight savings time coming soon. So I might have to switch up my time. We don't have daylight savings here in the Philippines. So I might have to start live streaming earlier. I have to think about it. I haven't put too much thought on it yet because I know daylight savings is coming and I have to figure that part out, but that's okay. I'll figure it out. Anyway, with that being said, before I do go, just a very special thank you to Spike and to Andre for your donations today. Thank you for the additional support. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Thank you. To all my Finally Fasting fam members, oh, I pressed the wrong button here. To all my Finally Fasting fam members, thank you for your continued support as well. To all my regulars who show up and who are accountable and who are kind to people in chat, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Thank you for always showing your accountability, sharing your story, and helping others out. That my mind was elsewhere. What was I going to say? I'm always appreciative of that. I guess is the best way I can put it. So with that being said, I'm going to do my obligatory wave goodbye. I will see you all on Tuesday evening. at 7:30 p.m. Central, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You all have a good one. I will see you all soon. Take care, everyone.